Give me a fast reply. Make it a fast reply, okay? Otherwise, I'll continue on Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. Okay, done. I'll start. Okay, we'll start. Okay. Now let's see. Let's see the point for today. Our today's application. Okay. Our today's application is to know about how to call a procedure or a function using data JPA, using this JPA concept. Okay. See, here there are two annotations we are going to use. If I want to call any procedure or function, then one annotation is named stored procedure query. There is one annotation called named stored procedure query. This is one annotation that we have to use. The other annotation that I have to use is @stored procedure parameter. So basically, these are the two new annotations you are going to learn today, and we'll complete this. First, we want to understand about how can we call a procedure or how can we call a function of a database using JPA. You know about how to create a procedure, you know about how to create a function in the database. Okay. Suppose you have a procedure or suppose you have a function. What do you want to do now? I want to make a call. I want to call that procedure or I want to call that function. If at all I want to call any procedure or a function, anyone, if I want to make a call to the procedure or if I want to make a call to the function, anything, so then I have to use the two annotations here. One is a named stored procedure query. And the second one is a stored procedure parameter. These are the two annotations to use. With the help of them, we can able to call the procedure or we can able to call the function of a database. Today, we will look at about the procedure and we will call that procedure in our application today first. That's the first point we are going to look at today. I will explain you guys. Okay, I have a procedure. I'll show you. Let's say that I have a procedure. You all know about how to create a procedure in database. Because with a callable statement example in JDBC, you know about that. So this is the procedure what I have. This is a procedure I have. My procedure name is EMP_experience. This is a procedure which we discussed earlier. Okay. So my procedure name is EMP_experience, which takes employee number as input and returns, which takes employee number as input and will store the name and experience into out parameters. It has one in parameter and two out parameters. The experience calculation is done based on joining date. So when I say select star from EMP, so here I have a DOJ column, date of joining column. So based on the date of joining column, first what I'm doing now, taking two variables here, temp1 and temp2, two variables I created. Select name, ename into another variable called name. This is the out parameter. Store the name into out parameter called name, and store the date of joining into variable called temp1. Okay. And select the system date and store it into another variable called what? temp2. Finally, we want to calculate the experience based on the system date minus date of joining divided by 365, because it returns me number of days, but we are just converting into number of years divided by 365. I have a procedure. Name of the procedure is EMP underscore experience. This is a name, procedure name. Requirement is what I want to call this procedure now. This is a procedure I want to call from my JPA application. Let us see how we can able to call the procedure from our JPA application. That's the requirement. Okay, let's go ahead. What are the two annotations I'm going to use? Named stored procedure query. And other one is what? Stored procedure parameter. Because earlier, named query. What are the two annotations we discussed day before yesterday? One is a named query and a named native query. Okay. Named query means JPQL query. Named native query means SQL query. So basically in JP applications, you can run two types of queries. What are the two types of queries you can run? One you can run JPQL query. Second one you can run SQL query. SQL query. Basically you can run both the types. Okay. So now I have my procedure like this now. I have a procedure. My procedure is what? Take employee number as input and return the name and experience as output. And how do I am calculating the experience based on the date of joining and system date. Now this is my procedure. Name is EMP underscore experience. Let us see how to call this procedure from our JPA application. How to call this procedure from our JPA application. Sure, we'll get into that. See here. Let's create a new Maven project. I want to create a new Maven project, and here we choose Maven archetype as kickstart. Maven archetype kickstart. Choose the last one from Apache Maven. That's a group ID. And here just we want to enter. It's a procedure execution or procedure called JPA procedure. The project name is JPA procedure. Okay. And the package name I want is com.ait.entity. Yeah, we are supposed to type Y. Now we got the build success. Now this is my JPA procedure. Here is a pom.xml file, pom.xml. Okay, let us change the version 11. Now let us copy the dependencies. Let us copy the dependencies from our last example. Okay, let us copy all the dependencies. So till this, all the dependencies, I'm just going to copy over there. I would like to copy all the dependencies and I want to paste here. So we are done. All the dependencies are added. Next, let us right click and update the Maven project. So we are updating the Maven project. It's updated to Java 11, but we don't have any resources folder. So what should I do? Simply first right click on main and create a new folder. Folder name is what here? Resources. And once after creating the resources folder also, what you have to do is you have to update the project. So once you have updated the project, I will copy from the previous example, meta in a folder. Let us copy and put here that folder meta inf, paste. This meta inf folder contains XML. What is our XML? Persistence.xml. And this XML is containing class name is what? Employee entity. I am creating employee entity in this example also. So this example also contains employee entity only. What I will do now, simply I will go to this entity. I'll copy the class employee entity. Okay, copy and paste it. So this is my employee entity class. I like to paste it. Remove this app.java file. Now this is my entity, but I want to remove them. Not named query or native query we are working now. Today's example is different. Okay. Now this is my entity class. What are the annotations I have to use? If I want to make a call to the procedure or function, there are two annotations you have to understand. One is named stored procedure query. Next one is stored procedure parameter. Sure. So there is one annotation called @named stored procedure query. This is annotation. Now this annotation has elements. One element is name. What's the one element? Name. This is the name entity manager will use in order to execute the procedure. We have to take two names here. One is a name that is going to be used by entity manager. Another one is a name that is the original procedure name. So there are two elements called name and procedure name. For example, I am writing name equal to any name I can type. For example, I am writing name equal to pro1. Procedure name. Procedure name equal to what is the name of the procedure? That is important here. EMP_experience is the name of the procedure. This is the name of the procedure, EMP_experience. So that is procedure name here. So why two names? This name will be used by entity manager for executing this procedure. Or the procedure name? EMP_experience. Now you have to declare the parameters of the procedure. There is one element called parameters. Start curly brace. Parameters. First parameter @stored procedure parameter. First type the mode. There are three parameters here. You have to tell the JPA. What you have to tell the JPA with the help of this annotation? What is the parameter mode? What is the parameter name? What is the parameter type? So how many parameters this procedure has? Identify how many parameters are there. How many are there? Three parameters are there. What are they? ENO, name, experience. In that ENO is what? In parameter, name, out parameter, experience, out parameter. So you have to tell all this data to the JPA. So how can I pass all these details to JPA with the help of annotations? Parameter mode dot in comma parameter mode dot in. Nothing but it is what is the parameter mode? In parameter mode equal to parameter mode dot in. This is nothing but what parameter? In parameter. It is called in parameter. mode equal to parameter mode dot in, comma. This is parameter mode. Next what? Type. Type equal to employee number. Na? Employee number is what type of integer? So integer dot class. Of course, in database it is number, but in Java, integer. Integer dot class. In database, number means in Java it can be either integer or double, or it can be float also. But employee number is an integer, na? What's the type I am telling the JPA? It is a integer type. It is a integer type. What is the name of the parameter? ENO. What's the name? ENO. Okay. Totally 3 elements are there. What are the 3 elements you just observed? First element is mode. Second element is what? Type. Third element is what? Name. Like that, how many parameters are there for my procedure? 3 parameters are there. Out of 3, first one is a in parameter. What's the name of the parameter? ENO. What are the other 2? Name, experience. They are what parameters? Out. They are out parameters. So basically what I am writing here, one more time I will copy this. I'll paste here, but I'll change. What is the name of the parameter? Is name. Name of the parameter is name. Okay. Name is a string. What's the type here? String. What is the mode of the parameter? Is out. Out. Comma. There is one more parameter also, no? What is the name of the parameter? Experience. Experience. What is the parameter mode here? Out. Yes, it is out parameter. And what's the type here? Experience is double. Double. So double dot class. Okay. That's nice. So 2 annotations you learned. What are the 2 annotations? One is named stored procedure query. This is actual procedure name in database. These are the parameters details. So what I need to provide? I need to provide the JPA about what is the name of the procedure, what is the details of the parameters. So how many parameters this procedure has? 3 parameters are okay. How can I configure the 3 parameters here? How can I write the metadata about the 3 parameters? By using annotation called stored procedure parameter. It has how many elements? 3 elements. What are the 3 elements of this annotation? Mode, type, name. Excellent. We got them. Okay. Why 2 times I'm writing here? This is name. This is procedure name. Why name is required here? What is the use of name equal to pro1? When I'm writing name equal to pro1, what does it mean? This pro1 is the name to be used by entity manager. We are going to look at about that. With this name, we can execute this procedure. This is a name to execute this procedure used by entity manager. This name can be XYZ, any name you can write. But this name must be procedure name only. In the database, whatever the procedure name is there, that procedure name only you have to write over here. That's all. Let's write DO. I want to create a new package here. Okay. Package name I want to write is com.ait.what? DAO. com.ait.dao is what? This is my package to create an interface. And interface name I wanted EMP-DAO. Okay, any name you can take it. Here I am writing. Okay, here I am writing. Return type is void, means I don't want to return anything. Simply void I want to write. Void, return type. Execute procedure is a method. And pass the employee number as input. This is called method declaration. But where I should write its definition? In the implementation class. Implementation class will keep in sub package. Implementation class we are going to keep it in the sub package dao.impl. Class we are creating. What's the class name? emp dao impl. This class implements an interface called emp dao. Okay, right. First we need a entity manager factory. How can I get entity manager factory? Private entity manager factory. Entity manager factory equals to persistence dot create entity manager factory of unit name is test. Okay. Observe here. Okay, right? Here what I want to do now, first I need entity manager na? Sure. How can I create entity manager? Entity manager em equal to, what is that? Factory dot what? Create entity manager of, that's it. This is entity manager. Okay, entity manager. Sure. Now we need to create a stored procedure query object. Previously, query object na? Query object, typed query object also, na? Similarly, what's the one more object I'm going to create now? Stored procedure query object. Stored procedure query. Stored procedure query. Query equal to em dot create stored procedure query. Tell me what is the name I gave in the annotation? Pro1. Pro1. So first, what object I have to create? Stored procedure query. This object I have to create now. After creating this object, then what I have to do? I have to set the values to the in parameters. How many in parameters are there? One in parameter, employee number. So how can I set? Query dot set parameter position 1 comma empno. That empno I'm giving as argument na? Yes. So what I'm setting here, employee number I'm setting to which parameter? First parameter, because first parameter is a in parameter. Otherwise I can write the name of the parameter also. What's the name of the parameter? ENO, right? I can write ENO is the name of the parameter. ENO. I can write name also, otherwise I can write the index also. Anyone. Set parameter ENO, EMPNO. What about remaining two parameters? There are two more parameters are there in procedure, right? Okay, they are called what parameters? Out parameters. Out parameters means we don't set. Now we have to execute this query. To execute this query, we must have a transaction. Procedure function execution must be done within a transaction. So how can I create entity transaction? Entity transaction. T is equal to or tx equal to em dot get transaction. What I'm getting here? Transaction object I'm getting. Entity transaction tx is equal to what I'm writing? Em dot get transaction. You got the concept now? What's the next step? We have to execute it. Query dot, what's the method name? Execute. Simply execute is a method. Tx dot commit. Okay, done. We have to execute it, then you have to commit it. There are two out parameters now. To read the value of out parameter, there is a method called get out parameter value. For example, if I say query dot, you can see get, okay, out, you can see what's the method name? Get out parameter value. I can pass either position of the parameter, otherwise I can pass the name of the parameter. Anyone I can choose. I want to use the second one. Okay, second one I want to choose. See here I am writing query dot get out parameter value. Parameter name is name. Parameter name is name only, na? But this method get out parametered in sort of object. But name is a string, na? So what should I do? Typecast. Typecast that object into what type? String type. So string in parenthesis. Correct? Take into one variable called string s1 equal to. Take into one variable called what? A string s1 equal to. This is called typecasting. Next one. Experience. Experience is a double, na? So what I'm writing here? Double d equal to any variable you can write. Double of typecasting. Query dot get out parameter value of what's the name? Experience. That's the name, na? Experience is the name. Parameter name is experience. Experience. Now display the output. Now how to display? System.out.println. What do you want to display first? Name s1. Correct? Name is what here? s1. Again system.out.println. Or the next one? Experience. Experience. I want to display the experience of the employee. D. Right? em.close. Let's close entity manager. Okay. Right. Good. I am writing only one method in this example. Na? Even I can write what factory.close because I'm not writing any second method. Now this is my DAO class. Look at the DAO class once again. Okay, you go through the DAO class. I'll wait for a minute. You just go through. Read the line by line code in your mind. Okay. Then after that I will continue. I'll give 1 minute time. Please go ahead. Please look at what is what. Please look at what is going on. Okay, go ahead with the code. Just understand by reading the code, what is the code I have written, whether is it okay for you or not, or are you getting any misunderstanding? So that is the way. Now first let us execute this program. Let's go ahead. I'll explain you. Okay, let's go ahead now. Line number 20 is to set the parameter value. This is your in parameter and this is the value we are setting. This value we are going to provide as an argument to the method called execute procedure. When I'm calling this method from my main class, from main I'm going to call this method, I'm passing the employee number. That employee number I will like to set for the in parameter. That is line number 20. Okay, that is line number 20. Go ahead. Nice. I want to write the test now. So com.ait.test is my package or client, whatever. Here I am writing what new. I want to write a class with main method. My class name is tester. Okay. In the tester class, first I have to create what object of DAO class. So emp DAO equal to new EMPDAO, IMPL means what I am creating? An object. Object for what? DAO class. Next, what I say? After creating the DAO, what's the next step? We need to call the method. What's the method? DAO dot execute procedure of employee number 7788. Okay, if you look at my EMP table, in EMP table, we have the first employee number as 7788. This employee number I am passing as input. Right, okay. And this candidate has joined on 13th January, 89 year. Let us see how much experience he is going to get. Okay, how much experience he is going to get, we are going to look at into that. Right, okay. Like, nice. Let's go ahead. Let us run this application. If you want, you can update your project once. Right click Maven update project. Then you can run this application. Right click run as Java application. I can write like that. Otherwise, I can directly right click on my tester class and I can run. Otherwise, do one thing. There are many classes found. Which one you want? It is asking like that. Just simply go to your package test. Right click on your tester.java file. Then you can say run as Java application. It will execute directly. ENO is not registered with the blah blah blah. Okay, no problem. Means it is not accepting the parameter name like that. I'll pass the parameter index. Nothing to worry. Output parameters already I have given actually. It is in parameter name equal to ENO. I gave already here. It's saying that it not registered, no problem. If it is not registered, we'll set the value like this. 1 comma. Parameter 1 also not registered. Okay, no problem. If it is also not registered, I'll find another way. I should find some other way to run this example. Let's try. Okay. Parameter not registered. Have to set the value for the in parameter. That's our intention. Sure. If I want to register, so if I want to write again all the registrations, it will take more time. Sorry, not more time, more things. Parameter position, parameter type, parameter mode. Already we have done in the entity class. Already we have done in the entity class, but it's not recognizing that. No problem. Just a minute. Just a minute. Sorry. One minute. I'll complete this. Just a minute. We are not creating, we'll get it now. Our intention is instead of calling create, let's try to find get. This is for creating the create named stored procedure query. And we want to provide the name that is going to be used. Just a minute. Instead of that, I'm finding a method which can suit for us. I don't have any method. Parameters have registered, but it is not identifying the stored procedure. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. The name is Pro1. Let me check once. These are the parameters registered here. Parameter name is ENO, name, experience. Sure. Let's try once. That is in parameter actually. Let us update the project and let us try to run this. Transaction successfully not started. Why not transaction started successfully is, just a minute. tx.begin. That is a statement missed out. Unable to extract the out parameter value or in out parameter value, closed statement. No problem. Let us run this. So we got the result. First of all, I'll explain you. Just commit I need to do after getting the out parameters. That is an issue. Plus one more issue is a tx.begin statement I forgot. Even you also not remembered me. Whenever we are beginning the transaction in the last examples, we written what tx.begin, right? But this statement missed. That's the reason why I got exception. And one more is I'm committed the transaction. I am committed the transaction. Okay. After that, I'm getting the out parameter values. So if I want to read the out parameter values, I must do within transaction only. So commit should be at the last. This statement missed. This is misplaced. That's an error. Now we got the solution. Now if I run this, what's the name of the employee? Scott. What is the employee number I am passing as input first of all? 7788. Okay, for this employee number, what is his name? Scott. And what is the experience is 89 joined on 13th January 89. So the experience value what I got is 34.19 blah blah blah. Okay, means you can say approximately how many years of experience he has? 34 plus years of experience he has. Okay, let us try with another employee number. Then we will conclude this example. Right. Let's go ahead. I'll take another employee number. The other employee number is Rayon. 7659 is employee number. 7659 joined in 22. January 22. 1 plus years of experience, right? 7659. Let us try by sending the employee number 7659. Take the employee number 7659 and execute it. If you want to take a runtime, use a scanner. For example, I want to take this employee number from keyboard at runtime. Then what should I do? In main class, if you want to take any input, what do you have to do? Create a scanner object like your normal core application, right? Create a scanner object, take the employee number and you can pass it. Okay. For example, okay. Directly instead of passing 7659, look at this. I'm creating scanner class object. Scanner scan equal to new scanner of system.in. It's a scanner. SOP, please enter employee number. Please enter employee number. Please enter employee number. Right. Take that employee number. Int empno equal to integer dot parse int I can write, otherwise directly scan dot next int method also I can call, right? And what is the employee number I should pass into this method? empno. Got it now? Now when I run this program, it's asking me, what's asking me? Please enter employee number. Employee number, what I want to enter? 7659. And what's the output I got? What is the name of the employee? Rayan, experience 1.18 because he joined in 2022 only, na? Right. So we are getting the output now. So why I got an exception for the first time? Because I missed two things. First thing, begin. Transaction should begin, na? So that's the one mistake. Second mistake, I committed here immediately after execution. Right? But I'm accessing the out parameter values after committing. So that's the reason why I got an exception. I should access the out parameter values within transaction. Commit means what? Transaction is closed. Transaction closed means what? Statement is closed internally. So without statement, we cannot get the out parameter value. That's the reason why I should write the commit after getting out parameters. These SOP statements you can write outside the commit, no problem. I can move them. Look at this now. Where is my SOP statements now? SOP statements are there inside the commit or outside the commit? SOP statements you can write outside the commit, that is not a problem. But where can I access the out parameter values? Within transaction. Within transaction. Let us run this example again. This time we'll give another employee number, okay? So what is my employee number I want to give is, for example, Alan. What's the number? 7101, joined in 98 8th month. Okay, observe it. 7101. Enter the employee number. What's the employee number? 7101. I'm passing 7101. I'll press enter. Okay, what is the name of the employee? Alan. Experience 24.5 years of experience he has. Okay, very good. Now this is a way how we can able to call the procedure. Similarly, you try with the function. So what are the two annotations you learned here? At the rate named stored procedure query. Next one is at the rate stored procedure parameter. That's it. Look at my DAO once again. Look at my DAO class once again, so that we'll move on to the next topic. Look at my DAO class once again, so that we'll move to the next topic. So this is what the changes. Pro 1, you know what is Pro 1? That's a name this entity manager will use to call the procedure. What is ENO? In parameter. In parameter is ENO. Then begin the transaction. Why I got first time exception when I run the example is because of this statement only. Which one? Begin. I missed writing this statement. That's the reason why I got an exception. Okay. Good. Nice. Got it, everyone, right? You can look at this now. Where can I get the output parameter is outside of the transaction, within transaction, within transaction, within transaction. Get the name and get the experience, then display them. That's all. Okay, good. Let's go ahead. Now, these are the two annotations. Example, I'll make it as a zip file and I'll place you in portal. You can able to find this. Guys, is it clear? Write in chat box Y or N. Okay. Next. So this is the way how we can able to execute the procedure. In the same way, you can also execute the function. Okay, try with the function. Okay, this is my procedure. Okay, I need to attend this call. It's from US. Yeah. Now let's go ahead. coming to the next now. So far, you know about how to perform the basic operations. Basic operations means CRUD operations. Second one is how to perform the bulk operations. Bulk operations, I mean, bulk operations means like you want to fetch the multiple objects. That's what queries we created, right? What queries we can able to run? JPQL queries we can run, or even SQL queries also we can run. You know about how to run the JPQL queries and SQL queries. And how can you make the query and entity class at one place in a single file by using named queries. Okay. And then today what you learned? Using procedure, using JPA, how to call the procedure, even how to call the function also same process. Okay, process, same process. In place of the procedure name, what you are going to write is function name. Okay, procedure name, in place of that you are writing function name. So this is the other concept, you got it, right? Yesterday what you discussed is how to use criteria methods for creating the queries without manually writing the query. Query can be automatically generated. You can generate the query automatically with the help of criteria methods. That's called criteria methods. Okay, right? These are all the different concepts you learn in JPA so far. Next, another important concept you have to learn is how can you map the associations. So that is an important concept. How can you map the associations? Associations means association, I mean relationship. And this relationships only is the most important concept. You have to understand the relationships only very well. Am I right or not, right? Okay, if you are not understanding the relationships, okay, right, it becomes difficult to understand the applications in real time. Because in real time, all the entities are having a relationship. One entity is related with another entity. Okay, one entity is related with the other entity. Relationships are important. Am I right or not, right? Either it is in JPA or in our normal daily life also. Am I right or not? Right? Relationships are important, not important. Huh? Relationship is not important. Very good. Let's go ahead. So now, first, we will understand about how can our requirement, we have a requirement that I would like to define or I would like to provide one-to-many. I want to map one-to-many relationship. I have two entity classes. I want to define one-to-many relationship. And do remember, if you understand one-to-many relationship, then other relationships like many-to-one, many-to-many, and one-to-one, you can understand easily. The base for understanding the relationship is one-to-many. Okay, right? Let's start our discussion with how to define one-to-many relationship. How can we map one-to-many? That's what we are going to understand first. Okay, right? As you know, our application contains entity classes. Requirement is we want to map one-to-many relationship or association, any word we can say. We want to define or we want to map one-to-many relationship between the two entity classes. Let's see how to provide one-to-many relationship between the entity classes. That's where we are going to start with the relationships. So what are the types of relationships we can map between the entity classes? One-to-many, many-to-one, many-to-many, and one-to-one. 4 types now. From there, we will begin our concept of relationships. Okay, from here we'll start. Okay, we'll explain you. Okay, I'll explain you. Observe here. We are discussing about the concept called as what? One-to-many. We are discussing about actually JPA relationships. This is our topic, JPA relationships. Okay. Now, What are the JP relationships? One to many is one JP relationship. One to many. The second one is many to one. Many to many. And one to one. One to many, many to one, many to many, and one to one. Okay, right? Now, these are the different relationships we have. One to many to one, many to many, and one to one. And one to one. Okay, let's go ahead. So first we want to understand about how to map one to many relationship between the two entity classes. Let us take an example. Suppose first we understand about one to many. This is what you have to learn. It is an important concept. Okay, one to many is an important concept. You have to understand about how to map the one to many relationship. Okay, observe here. Assume that I have two entity classes. Suppose one entity class is I say category. One entity class name is category. I have an entity class called category. Category is an entity class. And say for example, product is one entity class. So what is a one to many association I want to map between them? We know one category has multiple products. Okay, one category has multiple products. Means I want to map what kind of association between or relationship between the category entities in my application and product entities in my application. One to many association. One product has multiple, one category has multiple products. That's what the association. You can take, for example, one customer has multiple loans. What kind of relationship it is? One to many. One customer has multiple loans. Suppose you have customer and loan. Suppose the two are entity classes. Then you want to define what kind of, you want to map what type of relation between them? One to many. Okay, like that. Customer to loans. Okay, or customer to policies. Or we can say, for example, department employees. One department has multiple employees. What kind of relationship it is? What kind of association it is? One to many. We want to map what kind of association now? One to many. Between what and what category and products. See, in my table, in my database, I have table like this now. One table name is TBL underscore category. Suppose one table name is TBL underscore category. And this table has columns like this. ID of the category, category ID, category name. Category ID, category name, for example. I have a table TBL underscore categories. Columns are category underscore ID. Next one is category underscore name. Two columns are there. And feel that this is a primary key column. Now this is one more table I have, and my table name is TBL underscore products. It's my table TBL underscore products. It contains the columns of this table. I have something called product ID, product name, and category ID. Okay, I mean, basically what I can tell you is that multiple attributes also we can take, but I just want to take simple attributes so that you can understand it easily instead of taking multiple attributes. What's my next table name? TBIL underscore products. The columns in this table are product ID, product name. Okay. And something like category ID. Category underscore ID underscore FK. FK means it is a foreign key. Just I want to represent like that. I want to represent like this. Observe it. Let us increase this box. Okay. Good. Now, what are you understanding now? This is the primary key. And this last column is the foreign key. Right? And here, who is the parent table and who is the child table? Always we know that the table which contains a foreign key column is called as child table. Who is the child table? Products. Who is the parent table? Categories. One table is categories, other table is products. We want to define, we want to map what type of association or relationship in our application. One to many. One to many. Means what if I have one category entity, I want to map, okay, I want to map multiple product entities with one category entity. Nothing but I want to provide what kind of association between them? One to many association I want to provide between category and products. Okay, tables we have like this now. This is my foreign key. This is a foreign key. To represent that it is a foreign key, I am using underscore FK as column name. By seeing the column name underscore FK, one can easily identify that what this is the foreign key column. That is only the representation. But actually I can take the name as category underscore ID also. But why I am adding underscore FK also to make it that it is a foreign key column to understand easily. Nothing more. Okay. Coming to the point here. How many entity classes I have? 2 entity classes I have. One entity class is mapping with categories table. Other entity class maps with products table. I want to provide what kind of relationship between them? Whenever you want to provide one to many, whenever you want to map a relationship called one to many, in your source entity class, in your source entity class, you have to create a reference variable. What do you create? Reference variable. You have to create a reference variable of a collection. Which means what? Observe here. I'll talk about annotations and all secondary, but first understand about what is required to map one to many. Right. First of all, question is now, why should I map a relationship between the category and product entities? Question is, when should I map first of all relationship? I can work category separately, product separately. Like earlier we have employee entity class. Like that today I will create 2 more entity classes. I can perform insert, update, delete on category. I can perform insert, update, delete on product. I can work independently. There is no need to provide any relationship. But when to provide the relationship between them? Suppose if you do an operation, if you do an operation, a CRUD operation on one entity, you want to propagate that operation onto the associated entity, other entities. Then you have to make a relationship between them. What's the requirement? For example, when I insert a new category, to the database, I also want to insert what? All the products belongs to that category. Can I get my requirement? What's the requirement? My requirement is what? Whenever I am persisting means inserting. When I am persisting what? A new category to the database. Along with the category, I also want to persist products of that category automatically. Whenever I'm deleting a category, then I want to remove all the products of that category also from DB. You are getting my point or not? Then you have to provide relationship. Otherwise, there is no need to provide relationship. You can work independently. You can work a category independently, product independently, right? But when to provide relationship? When we are performing a CRUD operation on one entity, you would like to propagate the same operation on other entity, then go for relationship. It can be one to many or many to one, that you decide based on requirement. But when to apply relationship, that is important. Okay, when should we apply a relationship between the, or when should I map a relationship between the entities? When should I map a relationship between the entities? If I perform a CRUD operation on what? If I perform a CRUD operation on one entity, I would like to propagate that operation onto the other entities. Then I should go for association. I should map the relationship. Otherwise, I no need to map any relationship. My requirement is what? Whenever I perform a CRUD operation on category object, I also want to execute the same operation on related products. Because one category has many products. Na? If I am storing new category to database, what I want to store? All the products of the category. If I am selecting a category, then I want to select what? Products of the category. If I delete the category, then I want to delete its products. If I want to do these operations, then I should make relationship between them. Okay, I have to map a relationship. Which relationship? That you decide based on requirement. In my requirement, I want what type of relation? One to many. I want to map one category with multiple products. I want to map one category with multiple products. Means I have to use what type of relationship? One to many. One to many. Like that, we need to go for relationships. Like that, what are the different kinds of relationships available to map? One to many, many to one, many to many, and one to one, and one to one. In that, the first one is important. Means if you understand one to many, then other relationships you can understand easily. That's what the concept. Okay, if you know one to many, automatically many to one, many to many, one to one, everything you'll understand. Okay, but understanding one to many is very, very simple. We'll look at it on Monday. On Monday session, we'll continue with the important concept called relationships. Okay. Okay, guys, on Monday, I'll continue with the concept of relationships. This is an important one. Okay. Thank you. I'll post the example, today's example. I'll post it as a zip file. You just go ahead.